What's up, gaming heroes? Welcome back to another awesome episode of the Gaming Hero podcast. I'm here with Sarranuva, and he is a awesome content creator who makes World of Warcraft content and gold making content. Feel free to introduce yourself, bro. Say hello.
Yeah, thanks for having us. World of Warcraft, gold gaming, pretty much any kind of World of Warcraft content. Been doing it many years now. Do it for fun, and it's still fun. So yeah, cheers for having us.
No worries, mate. I absolutely love your content. You're so good at you've got like a lot of presence when you're on camera, and you're really good at like kind of explaining situations and tutorials and videos like that. That's especially why I like to kind of watch your videos. Your latest one, I think, was about the Wowhead. Was it about Wowhead?
Yeah, it was like five tricks of Wowhead or something. Yeah.
Love that page. I had no idea they had that random name generator page. That was so cool.
Yeah, I found that by mistake, and I was like, again, not many people are going to know that one. So that started the whole idea off, actually.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'd love to just kind of dive straight into it, if that's all right with you.
Yeah, sure.
So what inspired you to get started with World of Warcraft?
Oh, Christ. I've been playing Warcraft since the closed vanilla beta. So, like, old school. And
wow.
I was playing FPS games. I was playing Return to Castle Wolfenstein, actually.
Oh my gosh.
Years ago.
I played that.
Yeah, I kid myself, it was semi-competitive. It wasn't. We were taking part in online competitions and stuff like that. I think we'd just gone over to CS Source, maybe. And just a couple of the lads said, oh, we want to try this game, etc. And we all somehow managed to get beta keys. And we started playing it. First MMO I'd ever played. I was always FPS. And yeah, we just started playing it, and I've been hooked ever since.
Wow. And when did you kind of start your content creation type career, I guess?
Actually, when I looked at the YouTube channel, it's a long time. I think it's coming up like 8-9 years, maybe.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head. It was one of those things that is part of my real life, my job. I do a lot of like corporate training, and I do marketing. So it's one of those things where I was always involved in YouTube with a couple of clients, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to set up my own channel. And it was, I think my first video was in my old house in a conservatory. The sound was horrible. It was horrific. Watching it back, it's like, wow.
Yeah, I think it's there's a YouTuber I know who's called Ali Abdal, and he says your first 100 videos are your worst videos, but it gives you an opportunity to get to know yourself. So don't beat yourself up, bro. I've been there myself. A young, skinny arrow, just for talking about gold making. You know, I've been there. I know what you mean.
Yeah. Well, that was it. I think I'd already done some video editing because I produced some clan videos for the Wolfenstein clan back in the sort of machinima days, and it was like all trick jumps. It was way before phase and card and all that kind of stuff. So I was already doing a little bit of editing, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to start doing this. I think one of my best videos is one of my very earliest videos as well. It's the how to find the Vashia portal, and that's about a 6-year-old video. Still tops the traffic.
Wow. Do you know why it does so well?
I think it's number one for most of the searches in Google anyway. And it's one of my little tactics for growing the channel was I was in early doors with posting videos for Wowhead as the resource. So it's the main video on Wowhead when you are on the Vashia portal how-to guide, like how to do it. It's literally the first video, so it gets a lot of external traffic from that. And I think just that with my background with optimization and stuff like that, it's number one everywhere you look, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely because of the Google, like 100%. It being
Yeah.
at the top, the parasite SEO of that is just gonna absolutely rinse the views. Like it's gonna kill it. That's definitely why. Like some of my best videos, same reason, top of Google. In fact, at one point, my whole YouTube strategy was just to aim for top point of Google and don't care at all about YouTube. Like in the very slightest, I was just like, let's just get to the top of any YouTube, any Google page I could for a search term, and that worked really well for it for a while until everyone else started doing the same thing.
Well, exactly. I mean, that's actually my day job.
Is it? Are you SEO?
Been doing SEO for nearly 20 years now.
Okay, brother. Now we're talking.
Yeah. So got a few tricks up my sleeve.
Have you? Yeah, I bet you have. No wonder. I'm pretty into it myself on my IRL YouTube channel.
Oh, okay.
So I kind of talk a little bit about blogging and things like that, those types of stuff. So that's why I kind of know a little bit about it, but probably can't even touch what you know. The things.
Yeah, I've been doing it a very, very long time. I mean, the thing is there's always something new coming out, and I was working agency for 14 years, so I was working with like proper brands, like Ralph Lauren, Kath Kidson, all that kind of stuff. So really into the nitty gritty of the commercial marketing part of it. And then there's little old me with my little YouTube channel. Basically, it was a little bit of a test to start off with, and then just to apply it. So anything new that comes out, it's like I can cross skill it basically. Yeah,
massively. And this with search engine optimization, that's what SEO is, by the way, for anyone watching it not too sure. There's so much to it and it's so technical. I've tried to stay away from that. I just keep it basic. I do, dude. I find it so much easier when you keep things basic.
Yeah, it's all you need to do.
Yeah. The whole toxic buying links and stuff. Oh man, drove me crazy. That's what put me off SEO like hugely.
Yeah, I was around in the day when that was not allowed, but it wasn't as penalized. So I dealt with a fair few clients who that was their entire strategy. Then they come to me and my agency at the time, and it was like, you're gonna have to stop.
Yeah, I don't blame you. So let's jump back to World of Warcraft. Sorry, we went down a tangent, and it's my fault, not your fault. So you've been playing World of Warcraft for donkey's years, pretty much like myself in that regard. What do you like to do most in World of Warcraft?
I like the solo aspect. I think I was raiding for the first 3 expansions, and I've been in a raiding guild for most of it, but I prefer the solo content, and I think the economy and the gold making is generally what I get on with, and then I ultimately think the economy part of it, I like it because I can just dip in and dip out. I'm not sort of reliant on other people, and they're not reliant on me turning up. So yeah, there's a bit of that. I think it was Cataclysm when Garrisons came out. I stopped being a social WoW gamer, and I was like, right, let's churn out these factories and get them going. And I've kind of continued that, really.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I'm pretty much the exact type of player as you are. Love my raiding, love a bit of gold making, play a lot solo. Start the season, bit of Mythic Plus, dip my toe in, and then back to solo.
Get Keymaster and KSM, whatever, and then it's like, okay, I'm just going to go back. But it's finding that balance of like new expansion, new season, gold making opportunities, but you don't want to get left behind, and it's the whole invite thing. That's where the guild comes in quite handy, actually.
Are you a guild master?
No. Well, I've got several guilds, but no. Tried it back in probably Draenor. With Warlords, and it was too much. I used to do the DKP for my guilds in Vanilla and TBC.
Wow.
And that was Monday morning at works. We raided Sunday nights, Monday morning at work, the first hour of my work that I was getting paid for by another company was me entering the DKP into the website. It was manual as hell, and yeah, that was not even configuring rosters or anything. I was like, that was just like a small admin part of it. So much easier nowadays. Like, people don't know how hard it was back in the day.
Yeah, totally see where you're coming from. I'm a guild master. I'm on Silver Moon. Yeah, Silver Moon EU, and I know what you're talking about when you say it's a lot of work, bro. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a manager in real life. I manage a team of 10, and it's just the diplomacy. Like, honestly, you're giving people like one-to-ones in guild and stuff, and like people complaining, and you're just like, oh my god, like, this is meant to be fun. This is meant to be a game.
Yeah, just the complaints about the most odd things. Like, you'll say something like passively in raid, like one time, like, healers, can you heal more? Like something, can you imagine like just something basic like that?
Yeah.
And they won't say anything to you, but like 3 months later, they will be festering for 3 months.
Yeah.
That comment will, and then they will just cause like the biggest implosion of ruckus of issues like known to man, and you're just like, bro, I just said heal more. Like, relax.
Yeah,
I would have said sorry, like, or something.
Exactly. I think that's where we have a guild master and we have a raid leader, and I think that's why those two very different roles work.
Yeah, that's actually what I did. That's exactly what I did, my friend. That's exactly it. I stopped raid leading myself and just said, hey, I said to my right hand man, I was like, hey, can you just be the raid leader and completely take it away from me? Just let me be the guild master and just let me step away from that leadership role, so it doesn't hit the guild every time, you know? Same thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we've got a raid leader who is the heal more guy, 100%. But, you know, it's at the end of the day, if people aren't pulling the weight and you're trying to progress on things, you know, people have to have a harsh truth every now and then, don't they?
The thing is, the raid leader can say things that guild masters can't, because when the raid leader says something, it comes back on the raid leader. When the guildmaster says something, it comes back on the entire guild.
Yeah, definitely. I think you've made a right call there, 100%.
Yeah, mate. The biggest problems ever. But hey, it is what it is. That's the love of the game, right? The community aspect. There's some good times, there's bad times, but it's good times nevertheless. You know.
Yeah, exactly. At the end of the day, it's a game. It's like people should feel should feel like they can like put it down and walk away. It's meant to be a relaxing time away from the real life, and the moment it becomes a job, that's when you've got to really have a word with yourself. But we all play a while. We all know it's a second job at the end of the day.
Yeah, like you get some people who kind of like play it, and then you get some people who no life it, and you just kind of like, it's okay, it's not a big issue, but when they want you to know life, it's just a bit like, nah, bro, come on, I haven't got that sort of time, you know?
Yeah, we with Remix coming out, it was good to watch the comparison between literally the no lifers versus the people in MOP who had 8 alts fully geared. I'm like, wait, how have you got the bronze? It's like, oh, you've been playing for 18 hours every day on a side game. It's like, come on.
It's like, be realistic. We don't have that sort of time. I'm a grown-ass adult now. I'm not 14 years old. You know, I can't...
Annoyingly, these are grown-ass adults who've got kids. I'm like, how are you doing this?
Yeah, why is that the case? Like, can you explain this to me? I don't have kids. Oh, hold on. Let me let the dog out.
No.
Go on. I don't have kids. I'm 31, and I don't have that many hours to play the game, right?
Yeah.
I'm busy running businesses. You have kids, right?
Yeah.
How does anyone with kids have the time to play this game all day, every day?
So I think it's a bit of a cliche answer, but it's like, it's my wife. My wife allows me to play the game. So I've got young kids. I've got a 5 and a 3-year-old. So like, they're not exactly self-sufficient. Like the 5-year-olds in the tablet realm of I can probably buy an hour or two.
Yeah.
The 3-year-old wants to sit on my knee and play, and it's like, okay, that's fine. But I think for me, I also do the gym 7 days a week. So I do that first thing in the morning, then I work, and then I come home on a night time and then play WoW. So I've got a wife who allows me to do stuff. It's 50-50. She goes and does her things, and I think it's just time organization. I had to have a when my kids come along, I had to have a very, very harsh word with myself to say priorities have changed here. I can't do the 8-hour days, the 10-hour days. I can't. I like sleep now. So yeah, you've just got to be respectful with your time, and then I think it comes down to the efficiency of things. So that for me is where the YouTube creation is. It's been difficult in the fact of I've got to play the game in a finite amount of time. I literally get about 4 hours a night to myself to play the game, record the videos, edit the videos, do everything else that goes with it. And that's why personally the channel has stagnated a little bit in the last month or two. Also I went away on holiday, but time is finite. You've just got to prioritize your time, I think. And at the minute I'm dipping in and out and I'm playing Remix and I'm enjoying it, but I've got nothing else to aspire to. I've gave up on gold making on retail. It's pointless until new expansion now.
Yeah, I kind of agree, to be honest. It's kind of an odd timing. First of all, I just want to say it's great that you spend time with your family and you don't know life the game still. Like you don't do 12, because I know people with kids who literally play this game for like 15 hours a day. And I'm like, how do you do that with like multiple kids and a wife and everything like that? Like, surely how? Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, yeah. So massive respect to you to actually stepping back and saying, yo, I've got a family, I've got priorities, got business, everything like that. Big respect to that. And don't beat yourself up about the whole channel stagnation thing. It's like World of Warcraft is stagnated right now, right? So don't at all like make yourself feel bad, because I did that for years and years about my YouTube channel.
Well, this is it, and I try to every year I'll always release I'm going to do at least 2 videos a month. I'm going to do this, whatever, and I think it's with the beta coming out, got access to the beta, and I was like, right, I'm going to dive in, I'm going to do this, but then some of the ideas that you come up with, someone just pips you to the post and does it, or you're halfway through it, and you've got the likes of Manthius, who's just amazing at the game, amazing at everything in terms of ideas creation and everything. Got a lot of love for Manthius, and it's one of those where I just check to see what he's actually done, and I'm like, well, he's got the same idea I've got. He's going to get the video out quicker than I am, and it's just one of those where I'm looking for more niche ideas, not necessarily first look at inscription, first look at whatever, because someone else is just going to do it. So Breezy, Mr. GM, they're all going to do the first look at. So I didn't bother this with this beta. I was like, let's see what else we can look at. So I did have 1 or 2 ideas, and just time's just run out for us, I think.
Yeah, I think that's a really good approach for your channel, and given your channel size right now, that's one thing I really focused on when I was, similar size to that, is just creating really like niche how-to video tutorials on how to do things or how to find things, blah, 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 on subjects that no one's really covered, or if they have covered it, is it a bad video? Like, in sense of doesn't really, fulfill the search criteria. So I used to just go and literally find those videos and just make them good. And they banged. They did well, and when I got to I think about 10k, I stopped doing that. I just focused more on like, not saying clickbait, but things that caught people's attention and wasn't really searched, if that makes sense. Yeah,
well, that's it. You've got the eyes on it. At that level, you can explore a little bit more. So of the videos that I've produced, I've got a lot of evergreen content, which I was very surprised at, particularly with the game, with expansions. One one good thing, funny that you mentioned the how-to. One of my first ideas when I moved into this house, I got this room. I was like, right, okay, I'm going to take it a bit more serious. I need to justify all the money I've just spent on PCs and stuff. And I did how-to for all of the mining nodes and I did it through the expansions, through vanilla, TBC. I think I went right the way up to the end of Pandaria, I think. So I did 4 expansions worth, and they are continually the best traffic drivers for the channel. One, they're on the first video on Wowhead on Corium Vein and all that, but also top of Google for that. And then when Vanilla came out, got its second life, and it was with all of the re-releases, because the content's exactly the same, the videos are still very relevant, and just continually get
the beauty of Evergreen, mate. The beauty of Evergreen.
Yeah. Finding it in WoW is hard when it's expansion based, but yeah, just going back and doing old content, that's definitely been a good one. I did have an Evergreen. Well, I had a new video that I had to take down, which was how to get the tusks of Manaroth. It was rumored that you would be able to farm it in Remix, which you can obviously, but I had the video up. It did really well. I got about 8,000 views in the first day, and I was like, I've cracked it, this is a good one. And then I had to offline it because there was one inaccuracy in it, and people called us out for that, which is fine. Addressed it, and then Remix came out, and it was like, yeah, there's no point even having this video anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, that you live and learn when you try and do old school content in the current day.
You know, some of my most viewed videos to date so far is the how to get an heirloom ring, and I saw that video made by Bellua, and it was like, at the time, that video was like 2 years old, and I was like, I watched it and I was like, this is not useful or good. It's like when he just started at the time. Yeah. And I was just like, this is like, really, no offense to the guy, it just wasn't good. It didn't explain it properly. It kind of like was too artsy fartsy. So I just remade the video, and that was like the first video for me that popped off, and it just shot my channel through the roof. I was like, wow. So there is a market for looking at videos that do, explain things, but they just don't do it well, because when you do it well, people watch it so much more, Well,
yeah, that's it. I found I've done it with a couple of videos. I think in the early days, ones that worked well was reviewing farming routes or infinite spawns, I think it was. Yeah, it was just looking at other YouTubers' videos on infinite spawns, recreating it, and then giving my opinion on it. Give them a credit, give them a shout out, and it was a nice way of generating content and ideas off someone else's idea and just making it better or giving it a refresh or something. So a very similar approach in that regard. But yeah, there's been many a video where I've got them all written down in a Trello, and it's like, I watched this, it's absolute garbage, or it's out of date, or and I think that's why I made the Vashia video for the portal. Yeah. Because I think I found an alliance video, and it was made with Bandicam. It was horrible, and there wasn't even a horde explanation in the same video. And it was like, right, let's just do that. So yeah, that definitely works. It's just finding them. And I think if you troll through them, there's the 10 a penny. It's just whether you can make them shorter, snappier, and more to the point. I think I'm not a 10-minute video guy. I'm a 4, 5, 6-minute video. Keep the intro short, straight to the point. Yeah,
if you have get that to 8 minutes, bro, you'll be making some money.
I know, tell us about it. The amount I tried everything back in the day. I was like, let's make the outro slide a minute and a half. And it was like, no, Google's not pushing that, YouTube's not pushing that, because there's no sound on it, there's no video, there's no audio. So again, just trying to eke them out. And I think that's the problem that I have is I actually script all of my videos as well. So I've got a teleprompter attached to the front of the camera.
No way.
Yeah. if you go on the website, there's a screenshot of the gear. It's just a little newer teleprompter. I think it was like 100 quid or something, and yeah, that's got a mobile on it and all scripted, all teleprompted. That's why the pieces of the camera are a little bit more cleaner, and yeah, there's a lot of thought goes into it. But then what I'm not very good at is timing how long the video is, because I'll do the full piece to camera first, then edit it afterwards with game footage, and then there's just like silence when I'm like, shit, I don't actually have enough narrative on this, and that's why some of the videos come in at like 4 minutes long. I'm like, all right, I spoke really quick, let's go and redo that. But the benefit of that is it's already written and created to port onto the blog anyway. I don't have to transcribe it, so it's already done. It serves two purposes.
Goodness, you've got a really professional setup then.
Yeah, I think it's just the approach we like to for that real life marketing piece. I live in a world where I've got to come up with strategy, ideation, show an ROI on the idea, and so I'm speaking in total business terms, like a return on investment. How much you'll get out the back of it. So yeah, it's a case of just making sure that I'm getting the right message across when I do the scripting. I'm an and ah guy, and when I don't have a script, I'm a very and now I've pointed that out, everyone will notice it through the rest of this.
I used to be that myself, and ahs. I don't get as much of an issue with that anymore, to be honest. I used to use scripts, but I don't anymore. What I do is I just bullet point. If I have like that sort of video, I bullet point what I want to cover, and I treat those bullet points like chapters of the video type thing. And I just go through and I record the chapters of the video, and then I just whack it all together, basically. But for me, I think I've got a degree in acting, so for me, under pressure isn't really a problem at all. It's kind of, that's been ironed out. I've lost that part of my brain which gets nervous or scared or anything like that. It's just do what I do, and if you don't like it, I don't care. In the nicest way.
I think you'll know that more than most from a YouTube perspective is, you've just got to not care what people think. You do get I've got something like 1,100 subs on the channel, I think, and even I get the odd Aussie comment. And back in the day, it was like, wouldn't ponder it, but it was like, oh shit, like I'd think about that one little comment. Yeah, because I don't get like 4 comments a video, and one of them was bad, and I'm like, the video is horrible, I'm gonna have to take it down. And then I was like, actually, you know what? You've taken the time and effort to actually type that on the video. That's actually helped me, because that's helped with the algorithm anyway. So try not to lean into the let's be an absolute arse on camera to try and get those comments, because I don't want to be that guy. But at the end of the day, like I used to try and reply, and now I'm just like, unless you're an absolute arse, then you're not getting a reply.
That's kind of what I do now. I think about 3 years ago, I just stopped responding to any negative comments. I just decided, from a business perspective, it was a waste of my time to do so, and it just incentivized more people to do that. So I just decided, you know what? It's a hide user, move on situation. Like, the second I see a negative comment, if it is negative and not constructive, because there's a difference, someone can be constructive in a negative way, which is fine, and I like those comments. I even heart them all the time if they are constructive. But if they're just negative from a negative perspective, bye, see ya, I'm moving on. That quick. It's I don't even I'll see the notification, just done. There's exactly. No feeling for that anymore,
I mean, like, you've hit the nail on the head there. If they're constructive, you can learn from it 100%, because you're not going to create a perfect video. There might be little faults in it. You might have missed something out, which is why I eventually ended up going back to scripting, because my memory recall isn't great when I'm speaking. I tried the bullet points, tried without the scripting, and I'd come back to edit, because of the way I was doing it. I would edit the video and I'd be like, I've missed an entire section of that out, and then I've noticed it 2 days later, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to go back, do the piece to camera. I'm gonna have to find the T-shirt I was wearing, and it was just like, it was horrible. And then you get the comment on that, and you just take that learning from it. You just have to.
It is a pain in the ass doing it the bullet point way. I'm just not organized enough to do the scripting, like, personally. You know, if I ever get a personal assistant, I'm doing it.
Yeah, I mean, the industry I work in, ChatGPT's all big nowadays, but we've been using in that industry stuff similar to that for many years. Like, I built several content spinners in PHP and Excel 10 years ago for dodgy SEO stuff, and like, now you can get a very, very well written script if you're not proud. If you want to create content, you can get a script, and what I tend to find is, unless you use something like ChatGPT or Jasper or something like that and make it learn your past videos, it's not going to sound like you. It's not going to have the same vernacular. It's not going to have the same tone, etc. So personally, there's no point doing that. But if you're a brand new channel, hey, fill your boots. But it's going to last so long anyway.
Yeah, I totally agree. I've actually tried to use ChatGPT for certain videos. It didn't take my pickle. I wasn't too keen on it. It's good for, like, I find, fulfilling specific answers to specific questions. If I have something like, I really want specific help. Well, let's just take these interviews, for example, right? These podcasts. I wanted to give it, like, a load of information about you, and then say, can you formulate questions to ask him and things like that. It could do that, but I'd need to then do all the work of getting loads of information about yourself to get, like, the best questions out of it. And by that point, I could just probably come up with the questions by just talking to you and vibing you out,
Yeah, precisely. I mean, it's got its uses. I've used it for ideation before, for coming up with some ideas. That's big in the marketing world anyway.
Like, for example, ChatGPT couldn't turn around and say, oh, he likes Star Wars, what's your favorite Star Wars character? But I can. What is your favorite Star Wars character?
Do you know what I mean? So to answer that, it's Yoda, obviously.
Yeah, like
but,
it.
No, I think it's there's good and bad with them. I did actually do a test for fully automated video production using AI on the channel, and I did a second YouTube channel as well, which was a mixture of ChatGPT doing questions and answers. You'll find them on the Sarranuva YouTube, and it was an auto plugin into Canva which edited 100 videos instantly. And I was like, all right, YouTube Shorts, and it was just a little question, three answer question, and just created, like, trivia.
Wow.
Put them on the channel. Didn't do a dot. Then I tried a second YouTube channel, doing something similar, a bit more creepypasta type stuff, where it did short stories. It did AI, audio, video, and script, fully automated. It peaked, I think it got a couple of thousand per video, and then it just figured it out and stopped it. So all of these videos, if you see them and say, oh, I think it's in videos doing like a big marketing approach on it. This YouTube channel gets 10,000 visits a second and blah blah blah. Yeah, but there's also other stuff in the background going on there. You're not going to get.
Isn't there?
Yeah.
So, what's your favorite World of Warcraft character?
Oh, that's a funny one. So I've always had a soft spot for Thrall. I'll be honest with you.
Thrall.
I'm an Alliance player, but I did start off on Horde.
You read the books then, yeah?
No, believe it or not, I'm not a big lore guy. I've never read the books.
Dude, can I suggest? I know you don't read books, right? But can I please suggest that you read? I think it's called Lord of the Clans.
Right.
And it's Thrall's childhood growing up
Okay.
as a slave to humans, being a gladiator, every day having to fight ogres and horrible monsters. He's got scars and cuts all over him all the way growing up. Yeah, dude, it's the saddest story. And then him trying to unite the orcs who were all in like internment camps, like they're just kept like vermin, and they've got their spirits broken, like their eyes literally are different colors because their spirits are so badly broken. And then Thrall's journey of bringing the orcs together, the best story. That made me a fan of Thrall for life, dude. For life. Like,
I think that it's that part of his character and his storyline that I've at least seen in the game. That's the reason why I like him. I've got a soft spot for Jaina. My daughter's middle name's Jaina.
I like it. I like it.
Do you know how hard it is to find a normal sounding name that you have to tell your wife? I would like a middle name for my first child that's Warcraft related. I went through so many, and she's like, she's not getting that. No.
Imagine trying to call your kid Thrall.
I've tried. I've got my
they're like, what, you want to call my kid slave? Like, that's what the word means. Like,
yeah, we basically for my son, we're like, yeah, we're not going down that route. I'm like, come on, there's so many more great names.
Oh, Sylvanas.
Yeah,
I played that kid.
When I had to explain to my wife, obviously Jaina and her father's relationship.
Yeah,
she was like, "Oh, right, and you want to call your daughter?"
Oh dear, oh dear.
Yeah, that's probably a bad idea, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh man, so your favorite character is Thrall?
Yeah.
Okay, so Thrall and Yoda meet. Who's walking away from that battle?
I would have said Star Wars wise, original first episode 3, 4, and 5, old school Yoda. Probably would have been beaten by Thrall, but then he just started dancing everywhere in the Attack of the Clones, I think it was. It was like, oh, okay, then he's an acrobat now. So probably, I'd probably say Yoda now.
I think they've always been, so the books for Star Wars, I've read the books of Star Wars, I'm a geek for it. His race always do that. That's their style of Jedi combat. They have no other way of movement, basically. They're just jumpers. Like, they're basically frogs. They just jump a lot. And they have such good force control, like that. To them, it's like second nature.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned like reading the books and stuff. I'm a geek at heart, but I am like I'm well read, but I can't retain the information when I read fiction for some reason. So like, you know, you've got Red Shirt Guy, like known for lore in WoW, and I'm like, how do you remember the name of the 13th descendant of? I'm like,
yeah, no.
I can't. That I play on a daily basis.
I don't care enough about lore. I just like the stories, right? That's what I'm into. And when the story's really good, like Lord of the Clans, that I will never forget that because it was so good, it was so memorable. And I read it when I was like 14 years old, and I'm 31 now, so I've still not forgotten it. And I haven't read it in like 10 years now, so it just shows how much, like, how good it was that I remembered it forever, you know?
Yeah. I'm gonna have to go down that route, definitely. Yeah, I've tried audiobooks as well. You might as well just be pouring water into my ears. It just doesn't go in, audiobooks for some reason as well. I mean, I'm 44, so it could be an age thing as well.
Are you really? Wow, yeah. Dude, you look young AF for 44.
Yes, man. That's the moisturizer.
Yeah, moisturizer and gym 7 times a week, eh?
Yeah, and also not being able to grow a beard until I was about 28 probably helped.
Tell me about it. Look at this. Look what I'm working with. Oh my gosh.
This is yeah. It was lockdown, and I was like, you know what? It got to a certain length, and I was like, no, I'm gonna grow it. Lockdown, no one needs to see us. and I realised I grow a really bad beard. I grow an Amish straight down beard.
Yeah.
But I was like, I've never turned back.
Yeah, that's what I've got. I've got no sides. I just got armor straight down situation going on.
Grow it out, and then once you've got it, just go with absolute trepidation when you go to the barbers and go, right, can you trim my beard, please? But can you do it on like a 7 and just like not get too close to the face because you're just going to take my beard off?
Yeah.
Or use a hairdryer.
Oh dear. So, here's the thing. Do you know the films Jumanji?
Yes. But watch the original. Haven't seen the remake.
Yes. Okay. So you know the concept. You're going into a game. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to throw you into World of Warcraft for the rest of your life, right? We want to know what class, what race, what professions, what mount, and where you're going to live. Right.
Okay. I mean, you've literally just described my main.
That's fine. Talk to me.
So, always a warrior. Never anything else. I've mained warrior since vanilla. I would probably prefer to be an orc if I'm honest.
Orc
but I'm
warrior?
a human. I'm a human for Alliance, mainly for the rep buff, which is now gone. So I'm gonna have to second guess that one now. I wasn't really keen on any of the racials.
So you're going to be an orc warrior?
Probably an orc warrior. Where and mount? Interesting.
It's a hard one. It's a hard.
Where are
you going to live the rest of your days as a orc warrior? Where are you calling home?
Where would I live? Oh, hey, there's so many great places.
There is, isn't there?
Yeah, let me have a look at the expansion boxes. Yeah, that's a really hard one. That
it is, isn't it? Because we don't have anywhere in World of Warcraft we can live. So, like, when you get asked that question, you're like, wait, where would I live?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm looking in each of the expansions. I've got a soft spot for certain places, but I quite like BFA as a world map. If I'm honest,
yeah.
Annoyingly, I quite like Drustvar. I don't know why. I don't know why, but I really like Drustvar.
Wow, like in the mountains, or are we talking more in the cursed woods type thing?
Yeah, it was more the mountains. It was almost like the desolate areas in vanilla. It was a little bit like that. I just quite like that. I'm not a huge outdoorsy person in real life anyway. I do a bit of camping or whatever, but it's nothing like that. I just quite like Drustvar for some reason.
Wow.
And I think mount wise, I would always have to go back to the mount that took me about a year and a half of weekly resets on 10 characters to get, which was the Onyxian Drake.
The Onyxian Drake, worth it to the moon.
Every Wednesday, porting characters in and out, and then I actually missed it dropping. It dropped, and I was like, it was just one of those. I was just like,
next character.
And I was like, oh, hold on, what the hell is that? Oh, there we go. And that, I think I got it the week before.
That's
and
mad.
I know about 8 characters, and then I logged on this one. I was like, oh, it's in me bags.
That's crazy, dude. Oh my gosh. So, Orc Warrior, living in Drustvar, the Onyxian Drake, and your 2 professions are?
Jewel crafting, and I'm dual crafting inscription on my main out of sheer stubbornness of learning everything.
Yeah.
I'd probably say dual crafting blacksmithing.
Dual crafting blacksmithing, they are interesting professions to have in Drustvar as well. Yeah, that's awesome. Very unique answer, I've got to say. We've not had anything like that. A lot of these answers in the past have been kind of similar, but yours has just been like boom out in the distance, you know?
Yeah. I've got a Brutosaur. I've got oodles of gold. I don't need any gathering. I like gathering, don't get me wrong, but I've got a druid for that, so I've got several druids, unfortunately.
So what keeps you playing World of Warcraft?
Um, the economy, 100%, still keeps me going. I'm still addicted to making gold. I've got, I peaked and I made gold cap on 2 characters, I think it was. Got the Brutosaur mount, and then I was like, yeah, I don't need to make any more gold. I can just buy what I want where I want. I've got a lot less gold nowadays, but probably the economy, the gold making aspect of it. I'm a completionist, but not in the traditional all the things way. All of my professions are maxed out with knowledge points. Like that was I like an Excel spreadsheet, so I've got my own Excel spreadsheets that stuff. And once I completed that, I was like, okay, well, what's the next challenge? And again, because I've got such little time, there's so much to do in the game. It's like I will randomly, I need to do this now, and it'll be the most inane, pointless thing in the world. Mountain. What was the thing I did before Remix come out? I went back to Shadowlands to do the Covenant mounts. So I was grinding Anima in the middle of Dragonflight. Just because.
I love it though. That's kind of the best way to do it. Why do it when it's current content? Do it when it's easier. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. But I mentioned the guildmaster of my current guild. He is the luckiest person alive, and he will get a mount dropping in the first 2-3 kills.
No way.
Most mounts. And he's now cottoned on to having characters on low pop servers, like German low pop servers for instant spawns of rares and stuff. And he's like, hey, that's the thing. I'm like, you're telling me I've been doing this for 5 years and still get these bloody things to drop? And he's like, oh, here's another one. So we've got a Discord channel of look what I got, and it's literally, oh, here's another one. Oh, here's another one. I'm like, Dave, I'm going to kill you. Stop it. I think he got the Onyxian Drake in like 3 goes.
What realm are you on?
I'm on Frostmane.
Frostmane. Got you. Okay, and you're a Alliance player, right?
Yeah. Alliance warrior main, yeah.
Got you. Do you ever miss the Horde?
All the time. I love the aesthetic. I'm a metalhead, but like in real life, so it just massively appeals to me. But the aesthetic and the gloominess of it all, I love that. Like the Alliance is just a little bit too clean and clear. That's why I kind of like BFA a little bit. There was a lot of crossover there, a lot of influence. But I do miss the Horde.
So, what do you think of the current state of World of Warcraft as it is right now?
There's 2 parts to it. Dare I say it's easy. I think it's very easy to dip in and out of the game if you want to. LFR was a fantastic invention, but it's just another avenue for people to farm and do stuff. It just added an extra, I've got to do that this week, as opposed to it helps those lobby players.
Yeah. It's kind of the guild killer as well. The looking for group LFR stuff. It's a guild killer.
Definitely. Yeah, and I think it depends on when you start or when you play in the season. If it's a new season and you want to push keys, as a melee warrior, I hate the experience if I don't get my Rio, personally, I understand why it exists. I despise it because I'm always behind. Whereas I've got guildmates going, well, just join some keys, join a 10. I'm like, what do you mean join a 10? I can't even get into a 1 or a 2. So it's like, well, start your own key. Did that, failed. Become a tank. Did that, failed. You know what I mean? It's like there's works around. So I think in that regard, there's 2 very different, polarizing parts to the game.
I hate it when people say just join a key or just do your own key. It's like if doing my own key was something that worked, I would do it, but it doesn't, which is why I'm trying to join a key.
Yeah, precisely.
Sorry, it just triggers me, that status.
No, I'm honestly, like I say, I get about 4 hours a night to play, and I don't want to spend 2 hours apply, decline, apply, decline, apply, decline, refresh,
or
apply.
get in and then one bad pull and they're just like, oh yeah, I'm leaving type thing.
Yeah, I mean that's where the guildies come in handy. But like I say, even then you've got to get in early doors, to be caught in the rush for it.
Yeah, bro.
But that aside, I think the state of the game, Dragonflight was a nice refresh. I quite enjoyed Dragonflight. Not a huge fan of the initial dragon riding skill. More so for the I can't remember the points, but basically the balls that you fill up. The amount of times I'd be caught and I'm just stood there gliding, like I just want to get up this bloody mountain. Why they? Oh, you just got to dip down, go back up. I'm like, no, I'd rather just get out a normal mountain, just go up. Thank you very much. But once they did the refresh, I think that was all right. The game, in that regard, I think it was fresh. The raids were nice. The profession system was bold. I'm not gonna lie. Not alt friendly in the slightest. I think Shadowlands peaked. Shadowlands was the alt army. That was where it was at for me. Especially with Legos, that released a lot of endorphins. Like, just like getting the crafts out. It just got complicated. The moment you need a spreadsheet to craft something, there's something wrong.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother rant on professions. But yeah, the state of the game's good. I think you can tell they've had a bit of a kick up the arse internally. The game is in a better place, I think, and like the end game. Season 4 is a cop out, but I now understand why they were releasing remix. Plunderstorm, hated the concept. I'm not a battle royale guy, but if you take a step back and just think, bloody hell, the last 2 years they have released some content.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what, I played through Draenor.
Yep.
And was logged on and just sat in my own garrison, ignoring people for like 2 years.
So you quite like Dragonflight, in for the most part. Obviously, season 4 was a cop out, but for the most part, good. We're in a good place.
All right. Just the knowledge points and the professions. I think if I wasn't doing that, would I log in every day and try and or log in every day and have content to play? Probably not. But I was on there every day on at least 5 characters, maxing every profession out, getting knowledge points every week through every possible source, and then pushing KSM when I could on my main. I'm a min maxer. I play like a top end guy trying to squeeze every bit of DPS out, and I play like everyone else. But I think it's had the professions not been there to push me along, Dragonflight, I kind of see where people were coming from. It was a bit lax. But
totally agree with that. 100%, mate. 100%, nail on the head. It leads me to my next question, which it's an awkward one. I'm not trying to hold you to anything or anything like that. I don't know how to ask it other than just say it. How much do you care about War Within?
So I think it's the first time I've not booked time off work, if I'm honest. So yeah, like that.
Nail on the head, my friend. Same. Why is this expansion felt so lackluster? Like they don't care about it.
I think it's the fact they announced 3, and it's the fact that they announced they would be a year apart. I think, if I remember rightly, or there was a lot shorter time frame between the expansions, and that's kind of, I don't know. It kind of made me think, oh, there's the urgency's been removed. Whereas beforehand, back in it would have been Legion, just before Legion come out, I was on the beta and I was strategizing for gold making. I was coming up with all my little, right, okay, these are the professions I need, these are who I'm going to focus on. For the first time ever, I didn't main my warrior. I think I mained my mage, which was an enchanting tailorer. I was really invested in it. I was reading all of the guides. I was in the beta, and now I literally logged on the War Within beta, and I was just like, it literally feels like more of the same.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel any different to Dragonflight.
Yeah.
I can't. Warbands, everyone's Warbands is great. I was like, I've got 50 alts. Like,
have
it's
you
the same.
noticed that Blizzard do this thing where whenever they're improving like a system in World of Warcraft, just improving the way World of Warcraft functions as a game, they release it in a new expansion and make it sound like this is a feature that they've designed for this expansion rather than just something they needed to improve in game generally. Have you ever found that?
Yeah, and I kind of understand why from a development background of working with developers of like patch releases versus feature releases. You can do patch releases and mid-season patches. You can do stuff. An overhaul like Professions mid-expansion would have been cataclysmic. It would have been like a horrible experience for a lot of people. So I understand why they do it in that regard. But when it's simple quality of life changes, I don't understand why they do it. But then again, it's one of those where they have to sell the new expansion as having something new, all singing, all dancing. Look at what we've done on this. It's like anything. If you release it sort of mid lifespan, then yeah, it does take the polish off it a little bit. Even though people have complained for 9, 10, 11 months, one, they can't say it's coming, so they can't quell the dissatisfaction. They lose the player base. Whereas, if they actually spoke to people, and I think that's where I've enjoyed Dragonflight a little bit more, is that they're actually speaking to players again, and saying, this is coming, and he has a little bit of substance behind it, not something's coming. It's like, no, we actually have this coming out. So that's why I think the alpha and the beta and the community interaction for War Within and the back end of Dragonflight has been a lot better.
Yeah.
They've actually they've actually got people who want to talk to the players again, or not necessarily talk, but are allowed to.
Yeah.
And there's just all of a sudden there was just openness. And then they went and shot themselves in the foot by saying this is the best BlizzCon we've ever had. It's back in person. We're never doing them again, by the way.
Yeah. Interesting that, wasn't it? Best BlizzCon that we're never having again. Like, okay, bro, that was that good.
Yeah, and I've never been to BlizzCon. I've always said, I'll go to BlizzCon, and then COVID happened, lockdown happened. I was like, I probably should have went to BlizzCon, and then they opened it up again, and in person, I was like, yay, I'll be able to go. Oh no,
yeah, it's a different company now.
Yeah,
I'll be honest, like I don't care about War Within at all. Like, and I love World of Warcraft, but like. The marketing material for War Within just hasn't been there. Like, you remember when Dragonflight released? The trailers, and everyone was like, oh, dragons! They were like, yes! We were freaking out and stuff. War Within was just like, oh, cool, more Earth dwarfs.
Yeah, I think that the fact that there's been 2 allied races and the dwarf race anyway, I think.
Yeah, like, why do we need more dwarves? Like, give us a break.
Yeah, I made the mistake with Remix for one of the alts that I created. I created a dwarf death knight, and I'm used to you're too far away, or I can't cast that, and it was just like, oh my god, I'm gonna throw myself off a cliff to this. This is horrible. Why is this narrative like repeating on me? Yeah. And like the voice. I'm going to offend a few people with that one, but it's like, no, I can't do it. No, like, why?
I'm with you. Also, the other thing that really gets me about World of Warcraft that just is making me care less about the game is the lack of a good villain. Like, and not just that, but also the lack of response to the good villain. Like, even when we have a villain, like a good villain, like Sylvanas, she was evil, bro. Evil. But the response, we beat her in a raid, so we're just like, oh yeah, go to the mall, we forgive you. Like, bro, that response is so weak. We're murder hobos. Let us murder.
Well, what I think is probably sullied that view a little bit as well, or at least made you more aware of it, is if you've done Remix and you've went back and done Garrosh.
Yeah.
you realize how much of an arse he was. And like we rated it, we did it at the time. It was like we really want to get him down.
Yeah.
Like we were invested in him. Like he's he's lost the plot. There's a few of them like that. I think Sylvanas definitely. I mean, I still don't understand the jailer. I've tried. Like I don't know. Like it was
yeah.
I said it was more akin to the writer's strike. If you remember,
in World of Warcraft, have we got terrible villains now? Like,
yeah.
I don't care about the villains. I don't care about becoming powerful anymore to beat the bad guy. I just want to get good numbers. Like, why has the game become that? You know?
I think to go back to your point about like the state of the game, I think the tools available to the players to min-max is we before the game's released, we have our hit list of what we want to aim for to be max DPS or whatever. You know, everyone's got this is best in slot. And then you've got raid bots telling you what you can and can't use or what you should and shouldn't use. And people are just literally going in and aiming for item slots. And they're not caring about narrative, they're not caring about the raid. Like I say, I went back to do a lot of the anima farming, and I had to go back to some of the raids. Now I remember sitting, like, I had to go onto Wowhead and go, "What raid's this in again?" I can't remember. Yeah. Didn't care, and I was just going in, killing bosses, getting loot coming out. And there's players in our guild now. We see them literally twice a week. Yeah. Raid night, and that's it. It's like, oh, you just. Like, I'm playing the game 6 days a week. Like, can I have some gear, please? You're just, that's a whole different thing. That's
raid login.
Reason I don't raid.
Yeah. So I'm kind of like at this point now with villains, like the new villain War Within. I'm just like, well, I can't wait to beat her and then forgive her. Like I'm kind of at the situation now where I can instantly tell whether we're going to be able to kill that villain or whether they're going to be forgiven. Like, and it's pretty obvious. Like you literally you look at the villain, and you're like, yeah, okay, you're a forgiver. You're getting killed. Like it just becomes really obvious, and I'm just like, I play World of Warcraft to kill bad guys, not to get like a special lesson in morality. Can we just like get back to being gamers now?
I think that's why and it's this is a controversial take, but I quite liked BFA for that.
Yeah,
it got back to a little bit us versus them, and it wasn't about a unified front. And there was by the end of it there was a little bit of that, but I can't even remember the underwater zone when it was one of the patches released, and it was like world PvP.
Yeah,
and I was like, I remember this is what it was meant to be like.
Yeah.
And it was I started playing PvP again for that very reason. In that zone, I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to be here for 4 hours. I love this. And yeah, I think there was the narrative was a little bit like that. But yeah, you can see what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
The War Within, it's going to be a little bit cuddly, I think. And
same
narrative wise, you need to have the villains, like you say. You need to know the line between, ultimately.
For me, the perfect, like, this is what I would do if I was like in charge of Blizzard. I'd be like, right, all you writers, sit down and watch The Boys tonight, right? Every season of The Boys. Yeah. And what I want you to do is just look at how evil these soups are. Then the satisfaction, look within your own body, your own emotions, and understand the satisfaction you get when one of those evil soups gets killed.
Yeah.
Like, you need to understand the emotions in your own body as to why you are enjoying that aspect so much, and you'll realize it's because they're freaking evil. And at that point, you're like, well, they're so evil. Seeing them get their what is the word? Upkin? I can't remember what it's called. But seeing them get their piece of karma is just like, yeah, we did it finally. And that's what we need in World of Warcraft. We need an evil bastard or something like that to come in, kill loads of people, laugh about it, be like, yeah, that's what I do. And then you need us the raid teams to roll up and be like, we're the boys and we're here to get it done, you know?
100%. I think if I was to say, like, what's World of Warcraft like to anyone who doesn't play World of Warcraft, it used to be like early seasons Game of Thrones before the Red Wedding.
Yeah,
and then
bro.
by the end of it, it was the end of Game of Thrones. That's where we're at right now, where it's like, we're kind of writing some stuff. We don't really know what we're doing. The people who came up with the original idea aren't here.
This is why I was saying there was still so much potential with Sylvanas. She killed like bare people, like so many people. We could have like killed her in such a satisfying way and just been like, damn, we killed that bitch. We finally got her. Like, we're like, yeah, satisfying. But instead, we got such a lackluster ending. And it feels the same with Dragonflight. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's
we killed the fire guy.
Yeah, precisely. Yeah, I think the raid narrative definitely wasn't as strong 100%. I think a question for you actually, based on that is obviously they've addressed the sword. Do you think they were actually ever going to address the sword? Do you reckon that was in the plan?
I didn't think they would. I thought they were intentionally never going to address it ever. What about you?
Yeah, I honestly think they ran out of ideas and just forgot about it, and then it became a meme, and then fair play to them, they lent into it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's like it was there for a very long time. But again, it goes back to what I was saying earlier on. Like, they're speaking to the players again, and they're like, oh, something's coming, but they can actually tell us a little bit more about it.
Yeah.
Whereas, that might have been on a planning board for 4 years, 5 years of like, the sword, we're talking about it here, but can't tell anyone. So just let everyone get like really riled up about it. And then it just got to the point, like a boiling point then of like, about the sword. Yeah, we're doing something. Yeah. I think that they weren't going to do as much, but we'll see. I mean, they can still very much screw it up.
Now you're talking about storyboards, right? Do you reckon there's like a writer at Blizzard who wants more like better villains? Let's just call him Jimmy for a second. And Jimmy, every meeting, he's like, can we write a villain where, we get to kill them, or like that we care about killing them? And everyone just turns around and is like, shut up, Jimmy, shut up. Like every meeting. Do you reckon there's someone like that at Blizzard?
There has to be. If there isn't, then it's just sheep mentality of following the crowd. I mean, a lot of things have changed in the world. We've seen the censoring of the game, the legendary bowl of fruit change.
Yeah. Oh my
lots of things in the game where I'm a 44-year-old who remembers the 80s, and it's like one of those of like, people are probably a little bit softer now and a bit more sensitive than what they used to be, and rightly so. There's lots of benefits for that, but then I think it's what has happened with that, particularly from a narrative point of view, is you've all of a sudden got not 1 or 2 audiences to cater to. There's 10 audiences to cater to who've got different reasons they play the game, different interests, different investments within the game, where Jimmy is probably sat in the corner going, let's make an absolute dick of a boss and like just let him just like annihilate a continent. Jimmy, we can't do that because XYZ might be offended over here, people over here are going to be, and it's like, why don't we? And to be honest,
Jimmy's like, do it, let them be offended. Excellent. And they're like, shut up, Jimmy, shut up.
And that kind of happened with Sylvanas, really, when she burnt the tree. Like, people were pissed, and I was like,
pissed.
Yeah,
I was pissed. I remember I paid for a race change to Night Elf, so that I could change my Night Elf to the undead appearance. The new undead appearance.
Oh yes,
yeah. I changed to the undead Night Elf appearance and like create a whole new story for my undead druid, like that burnt in the burning of Teldrassil.
Yeah,
I was just like, I am gonna avenge like my fallen brothers and sisters, and then we just forgave her at the end, and I was like, wow!
Yeah, that was the biggest cop out ever.
Yeah.
But then, you know, people will remember who Sylvanas was beforehand, and oh no, she
Yeah.
was going through a bit of a bad time. She was influenced. It's like she
Oh,
wasn't a teenager. She bloody set a world of light. Do you know what I mean?
yeah. Like, you can explain. There's not a single thing in life that you can't explain away. There's literally an explanation for everything in life. Like,
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean they avoid punishment. You know?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
well. It is what it is. So, what's your future plans then for content creation and everything like that?
So I'm gonna lean into it a bit more. If I'm honest, I've got some changes in real life coming where I'm gonna free up a bit more time. Content creation, I'm just gonna try and do a lot more how-to videos. Which is funny enough, you pointed that out at the beginning, but that's on my Trello. There's a lot of how-to ideas. When I've been in War Within, in the beta, I've probably put about 6 hours in, if that. And already I've spotted a couple of things where I'm like, okay, people might want to know X, Y, Z. So doing some of that stuff. For
Good shout,
video,
by the way. That's a great shout. Yeah, it will help your channel grow so much.
Yeah, it has to. I mean, short form video. I'm not creative enough for short form video. I'll come up with the ideas, but the execution isn't quite there. I've had some good ones. I'm too old for TikTok. You know what I mean? It's like, I mean that's a whole different beast. But I'm not that personality minded in terms of like Touchpad Warrior, for example. Absolutely insane content on TikTok. I mean, he started off as a TikTok guy, didn't he? And he's moved over to YouTube. But I'm still very much long form content.
Yeah.
And that content-wise, that's what the channel is going to be. There's going to be a lot more War Within. Yeah.
Where can people find you streaming?
I'm still Twitch streaming. So I'm meant to be streaming every Friday at 8 o'clock GMT for 2-3 hours. And again, want to get back into doing that. I went to Vegas in the end of, where are we? June, the beginning of May, and it's just been chaos since I come back. So I haven't picked that up.
We stream the exact same time.
That'll be why I've only got like 10
Friday,
people.
7 till 10 every Friday. And you're just like, Friday, 8 p.m. I'm like, bro, come on.
Yeah, I think, what's her face? Beatrice Wow. I can't remember her actual handle. She streams exactly the same time as well. And it's just like, I just see all these people like, yep, Fridays. I might have to change.
Live.
Yeah, but I stream for me. You know, if people want to come and watch, then fantastic. Like, you know, I'm affiliated. You know, it's monetized, but like for me, it's still a hobby. It's not a full-time job for me. So, you know, whatever pennies I make off the back of it, you know, it just funds my next hardware item purchase that I don't actually need. Speak to my wife, and she's like, "You've got a better room than the rest of the house." And I'm like, that's a lie for a start, but yeah, there's a lot of investment in here. But
yeah,
you know, I work for it.
Yeah, it's your guilty pleasure, and you're entitled to that. The same thing I do. Same thing. Well, I just want to say thank you so much for being part of the podcast today. It's been like such a pleasure getting to know you. And I'd like to take this opportunity to invite you back for another episode in the future, because it's been awesome just chatting about World of Warcraft with you, mate.
No, honestly, it's been fun. Like, I like speaking to people. My background is I like to teach people things. You know, I've lectured at university on digital marketing and stuff like that, and I'm just a natural talker, I think is probably the way people would describe it. But no, it's been fun, mate. I've thoroughly enjoyed it.
Banging. Well, thank you so much for joining, and thank you everyone for watching. Be sure to check out his socials in both the description and the comment section. They will all be there. He is a great creator. Support him, get subscribed, get followed on Twitch, all the wonderful things like that. Thanks again for joining. Thanks for watching. This is Erosium and Sarranuva out.